Okay, so today's topic, I wanted to introduce criticism to you guys because I know nowadays in like the social media world, it's easier than ever to be criticized for anything you do, really. And not just doesn't matter exactly what you do, like I said, anything you do. And I wanted to give some tips on that because I think it's important. It's very important. Whoa, leg spike. It's very important to know how to deal with it. Hold on, let me turn my volume down here. This is really loud. Um, I'll just turn this to 25. I don't want it too loud for videos, obviously, because it's gonna drain out my voice. But okay, so it's like obviously, I think we've all had examples of criticism. Like we've all had that in our time of living on this earth, no matter how old you are. I think even by the time you're like 3 years old, you'll be criticized like, "Hey, your toy is awful," or like stupid shit. I don't know. I'm trying to think, but basically, you need to understand that criticism, it can differentiate. You can turn it into constructive. You can make it constructive and you can make it decisive to how your life works and how you want your goal to be set, right? This is kind of like the goal video I made yesterday, except it's a different topic about it, right? Because you can branch off so many ways with that topic. And people give criticism because they can try to help you if it's constructive, right? If it's constructive criticism, they can give it to you because they want to help you, right? And criticism can help you build yourself, it can help you build everyone around you, and it can help you improve what you're trying to do, right? But if you're having like criticism where people are just full on hating on you, because the thing with constructive criticism is, in my opinion, you have to put some good into it, right? So you have to say, like, if you're willing to like give criticism, you have to put some good part of it. Like you have to sandwich it. So you have the bread and like the tomato or whatever and the meat. So let's say the tomato and the meat is the criticism, but the bread is like what you're good at. So like how you're doing, what you're doing good. But in the middle, you have to know what you can improve on and what you should change. And this helps you benefit because you know you're doing well and you know how you can branch off with the things you're good at. And you can use that to know, like, hey, if I just do this with what I'm already good at, I should be able to get better at this, right? So then you think, like, oh yeah, I can do this if I do this because I'm already good at this. So on. That's why you need good constructive criticism by sandwiching it with the good parts and the bad parts, right? And if you have kind of like shitty criticism, well, obviously staying calm. And I'm going to offer you some tips to stay calm when you receive criticism. You have to realize most of the time they're either jealous of you and they either want to be that way or they're just jealous of you and jealous of how you're doing and they want to bring you down. If they're bringing you down, it means they're brought down by what you do. That's what I think. And if you have criticism, in most scenarios, they can be jealous. Obviously, there's some cases where like you could do just some deplorable shit and like then it's actually justified if you do deplorable shit and they don't want to do what you do. But I think in a lot of cases, in like criticism, if you're actually doing well in something or like you're doing something, if people are like, oh, what that game you play is awful, dude, or like, yo, that sport you play is awful, dude. Like, why would you play that? I've found so many dungeons in this world. But yeah, they're like, oh, that playthrough, or like, what am I saying? That sport you did, it's awful, dude. But they could be jealous of how you're doing in that sport. You never know. I think there's always a bit of jealousy with it. And you can stay calm by thinking either, hey, they're just jealous of me, or hey, they want to help me. So like, hey, they want to help me, like you can maybe listen to them, you can improve, and obviously good criticism, if they want to help you, as I said before, they're going to sandwich you, right? But if they don't want to help you, you can tell when they say just stuff like, hey, you're shit at this, but they don't actually give any good advice about it, right? So they could just be trying to bring you down, and you can stay calm by knowing they're jealous of you or by knowing they want to help you. And it's 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 pretty good. I think this is valid because it happens in a lot of cases. I think it usually happens if people are jealous of you. You can usually tell if they are jealous of you, and you can usually tell why. And you can usually tell what, obviously, if they're criticizing you. And it's just ways to, as I said, those are some ways you can distinguish helpful feedback and just bringing you down, right? Just like they could want, just you can distinguish yourself from positive feedback or negativity. And it's just like you can obviously tell if someone's trying to bring you down, they're being negative, and if someone's trying to genuinely help you, they're going to be positive. And you can tell, as I said before with the tips, if they're just trying to bring you down or if they're just trying to be positive. I almost have 4 stacks of coal, that's crazy. I have fuel for like a few days and once I get good in this world. But yeah. Um how you can use criticism and improve your growth is obviously if they give you good feedback, you can use that to help yourself, and to you can use that to justify what you need to do. So you're like, hey, coach, what should I do? What should I improve on next time? So they're gonna say something like, oh, so what you did well is blah blah blah, and what you can improve on blah blah blah. So you can improve on blah blah blah, and because you already know you're good at blah blah blah, right? So yeah, I know, right? Like, blah blah blah, that's such a good thing. But like, yeah, for an example, like, hey, you're already good at. I know I keep going back to sports references, but like it's the easiest thing I can do. Sorry, but like let's say they're like, oh, you did really well in passing, but what I think you can improve on next time is managing the ball. So like you can learn because you're good at passing, you know how to manage the ball. So and then you can build off of that. You can branch off of your passing skills to work on managing the ball and like commanding the ball basically. And with all that, you would maintain your self-esteem. You would have confidence, as I said, you would gain confidence from that. And I talked about that obviously yesterday. And you gain confidence from that if you're doing well in it, and you gain confidence from people telling you that you're good at that, but they also want you to improve. And obviously, people wanting you to improve would help drastically, right? And it's very important to focus on your personal strengths because this can help you branch off into an actual way of thinking and an actual like positive way of like, hey, I can improve in this way, or like, hey, I know I have these achievements in my life, and I wonder how I can make more achievements, how I can improve myself, right? So, yeah, and seeking constructive feedback is pretty important. It's important in a way where, obviously, as I said before, it's like your coaches, everything like that. It's like everything. If someone's like your teacher, for example, someone's trying to give you constructive feedback on how you can say to yourself, like, hey, I don't want to do this, but if you have to and you know how to do it, you know how you're good at this thing, but I think you can improve on this certain thing. And in conclusion, I think so. In conclusion, positive feedback is good, negative criticism is bad, obviously. And if people are trying to help you, they're going to sandwich it into like the sandwich method, which is good and bad, and they want to help you, they want to get you better. Or if they're being negative, they're just jealous. That's a good mindset. And you can branch off of your positives with to help improve your negatives, right? And you can have yourself know that like, hey, people want me to do me better, or people want me to do better, and I know how to do better because they told me what I can improve on, and I can use my previous skills that they said I'm good at to help improve on my goals. So, in conclusion, this is very important. Criticism is all very important for your goals. And yeah, anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.